Welcome back to another episode of Is It Better Than the Movie, where I play video games based on movies and see if in fact the video game is better than the movie. Today we're doing the 20-year-old, Eric Bana Hulk movie. This was actually my first introduction to the Hulk. I saw this movie in the theater as a kid and thought it kind of sucked back then, and I really hadn't seen it since, and after you watched it, I actually remember it being way more boring than it actually is. Maybe because I was a kid and instead of all the talkie I wanted the Hulk smashing, but now I kinda get it a bit more. But still, by no means is this a good movie. It's still pretty bad. They just talk way too much, and even though there are one or two cool Hulk versus military scenes, there really isn't anything that makes me want to recommend this movie. It's pretty bad. So let's find out if the game is. But before we start, don't forget to Hulk smash the like button. Ugh. Please hop down in the comments for any recommendations that I should do for this series. I do my best to respond to every single comment, so doing that will be greatly appreciated. Alright, let's go. I'm actually not even sure why I've been thinking about the Hulk so much. All of a sudden, he just pops into my brain. I really have no clue why. So, I was expecting this game just to be Hulk smashing away through scenes of the movie. Pretty simple expectations, right? Come to find out, I was half right. So, the game is basically split into two forms of gameplay. Hulk smashy smash and Bruce Banner parts. The Hulk parts is pretty straightforward. It's the combat destruction part, and Bruce is the sneaking around guards, deciphering codes, and opening doors section, which I really wasn't expecting. The story takes place after the movie. Bruce has been dealing with the Hulk for a while now, and this creepy little dude, Professor Jeffrey Crawford, who just smells like bad news, claims he's created a cure to help out Bruce. But what he does instead is he steals some of Bruce's gamma energy and stores it in the cleverly named Gamma Orb. Now, because Professor Wheels is a sad little pathetic man, he uses some of the gamma energy to transform himself into Ravage. Now you gotta stop this fool before they use that gamma energy for evil. Now, Betty Ross becomes a hostage at some point for some reason, and a ton of other side characters from the Hulk lore make an appearance, which I personally enjoyed. The graphics are like a cartoony comic version of the movie. They didn't really try to copy the aesthetics of the movie by any means, which I believe is the right choice because PlayStation wasn't really ready for photorealism. So because of the style, models aren't too terrible. There's a slight resemblance to the actors, and I also appreciated Eric Bana lending his voice for the game. Now, on the Bruce Banner side of the gameplay, some levels are pretty boring. Luckily, there aren't too long, and some are so stupidly short that they're over before you even know it. Some of the sneaking around parts feels pretty meh. If I were to guess, I think they used Metal Gear Solid as some sort of inspo, but yeah, they're okay. Bruce can also throw hands, but he goes down pretty easily with a few hits. Movement for both Bruce and the Hulk isn't particularly great. They really slide around a lot. These little green orbs recover HP, and some sort of absorption range would have greatly helped because a lot of the times they slide around a bit and you just slide right past them right when you need them the most. You can't control the camera either, which kind of sucks, so you're just kind of stuck with this semi-fixed camera. Now, on the Hulk side, the Hulk feels pretty powerful, and that's obviously how you're supposed to feel. He does walk as if he had a Hulk and Dookie in his pants. But other than that, he's pretty nimble. I found a couple Easter eggs like this Universal building, and I also saw a Mountain Dew truck, so shout outs to them. I thought that was kind of cool. Combat is just fun, simple, dumb, repetitive fun with a question mark. Maybe you don't find repetitive fun, but I gave it a pass. There's a fairly decent amount of combos, especially for a game like this, because frankly I just wasn't expecting much out of the game. But you use the square and triangle buttons in the PlayStation 2's case to attack with different combos. You can smash, thunderclap, and even do some ground and pound. You can also pick up objects and either throw them at enemies or swing them at them for extra damage. And it could be just stuff that is lying around or debris that you create from your own destruction. You can also grab and throw the enemies themselves. Below the health bar is this another little red bar. That is your rage meter. Once that fills up, the Hulk starts to glow green and you can now do gamma attacks. There are 2 different radius attacks that cause pretty good damage, or basically just to get all these little pain in the asses off you. When enemies swarm, you really feel like the Hulk. You just want to get them off you. So even with how simple and pedestrian the Hulk attacks are, these 2 gamma attacks really do produce the proper feeling of get these fools off me. There's a lock-on system, but it's very wonky and the game really never knows what I'm trying to lock on to either. So because the lock-on system, outside of throwing things at things, it's pretty bad, so I barely used it. Towards the later levels, especially the second to last one, it gets crazy, almost as crazy as Nick Nolte's hair. It's pretty bananas. I definitely struggled because of how pain in the ass the enemies are. It's hard because of the volume and non-stop attacking, and they don't let you even breathe. Not necessarily because of the skills you need to beat it, and that can get annoying. But luckily there are good old-fashioned cheats if you want them. But also, like I was saying, some levels are so stupid, easy, and short if you really want them to be. You could just run through it to the end. There's really no incentive to stick around and fight. One level is literally sneak past 2 guys and that's it. Another thing that took me by surprise is the amount of different types of enemies, from the ones featured in the movie to the most of them that are not even featured in the movie. And the fact that they went above and beyond shocked me, and I actually appreciate it. So we got the little military guys with guns, bazookas, and shields, tanks, and helicopters, and also the Hulk dogs we see in the movie. But about halfway through, other enemies get introduced. These Robotech suit guys and bigger gamma exposed guys, including these blue dudes that reminded me of the blue monster from the OG Space Jam. These punks get annoying towards the end, and they get blasters and they just start shooting you non-stop, not really giving you much space to move around. And they also throw a lot of those at you, which kind of sucks. I just really hate it in video games when they just try to make levels harder by throwing more of the same at you. They do it so much so that you don't even have a chance to move. And they do that here, almost forcing you to use cheats. Again, they're there if you want them. I also ran into a stupid glitch. So you're supposed to climb these boxes to hop onto this other set of boxes to hop over to the fence. Well, my stupid ass Bruce wouldn't hop over to the fence. Look at him. Come on, man. It's right there. Just come in. And upon doing some research, this happened to a lot of people. Don't know if it's because of everything wasn't lined up perfectly, so the game didn't register what I was trying to do. I don't know, but it was annoying as hell. I just had to get it exactly right, and then he eventually did it. What was not really that annoying, and I enjoyed a fair amount of, were the boss battles. Again, I wasn't expecting them. I wasn't expecting shit from this game. And the different characters that you get to fight, I really enjoyed. The settings were okay. It's nothing crazy. They're usually underground caves and labs and that kind of stuff. But could they have been more intricate? Yeah, sure. Maybe more exciting? Sure. Do they double some of them up at the end? Yes, that was not great either. But they also could have been way, way worse. Half of the problem is how pedestrian the combat is, but an effort was made and I appreciate it. I guess I was just more surprised than anything. Because the movie sucked so bad, I was expecting the games to suck even harder. But the game follows a simple formula because Bruce sneaks around and the Hulk smashes shit. Some of the levels are pretty dull design-wise, but the amount of different enemies and especially boss battles that are thrown at you can be a treat. The amount of bad guys from the Hulk lore that made an appearance really took me by surprise, like I said, even with how thrown together it all feels. And to be honest, it has a way more engaging story than the movie does. I had more fun with the game than I did with the movie, even with the repetitive combat. So, is the Hulk gang better than the movie? Yes, it is. If you would like to see if Jaws Unleashed has this much destruction, I'll leave a video on it right here for you to check out. Don't forget to subscribe. If not, you're gonna make me angry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And remember, it's always and forever, you do you.